All right, so I know it's been a while since I posted a video and an update on the truck, and the old square body's still sitting in the garage, and it's not that I haven't tried to make progress, but and if you work on these old trucks, Jeeps, cars, you're going to know what I mean by this. Sometimes things just work really easy, and they work kind of the way they should. The bolts come out, they don't break, all the new parts go on real easy, and everything works out fine, and you say, hey, this is going to take me about a half an hour, and it takes you about a half an hour. But with this truck, it pretty much fights me every step of the way. Broken bolts, broken seals, axle studs, wheel studs. I mean, you name it, this thing has just fought me kind of every step of the way with pretty much everything I've done to it. Everything from the body mounts to the shocks. I mean, just nothing is going easy and smoothly with this truck. So not an excuse. Again, it's been a while since I posted a video, and I should have put one out there just to kind of show you guys the progress, but that's kind of what this video is about today. So I want to show you where we're at, or where I'm at, because progress has been made and I'm this close, but still got a ways to go to get this thing on the road. The good news is that the gears have been changed and it's not all put back together yet. I'll show you that. And I feel like we got a really good setup on the gears. And I confirmed when I took the old carrier out and I counted the rings on the teeth on the ring and pinion, and I'll show it to you. It's right up there on the bench. Definitely confirmed that's a 308 gear. So that 308 gear with 35-inch tires and that 700 R4 was going to heat that thing up pretty quickly, and it made me a little nervous. So I didn't want to really drive the truck any distance or any real speed and get it hot until the 456 gears are in, and they're in, but I've got some buttoning up to do on that rear axle. So another thing that I decided to go ahead and do now were the really the window channels, and part of that is the vent windows. And I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and just pull these vent windows out. I got all the parts, or I thought I had all the parts to you know, kind of rebuild those, and then I can put my new window channel in, and then when the truck sits outside, water's not going to leak in. And the vent window broke. I'll show it to you in a second. And it's just, like I said, everything's kind of fought me every step of the way. The other day I went outside, went into the garage. I wanted to fire the truck up just to, you know, keep all the fluids moving around, and the battery was dead. So it's just, it's literally just been one thing after another. So not an intentional delay, and I'm really, really close. I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but I'm really, really close in terms of getting this thing back together to the point where I can drive it around and start having some fun with it. All right, so I'm going to take you on a little tour of the workbench up there and kind of show you some of the issues I've run into and some of the things I'm doing with the truck. And then we'll go up to the garage, and I want to show you the truck, kind of the condition that it's in. That's up on jack stands. The garage is a mess. This bench is a mess, but that's kind of just what happens when you work on these projects. And I kind of clean up after the project's done. So once I get the rear end done and all that buttoned back up, I'll clean everything up, clean this bench off, and then get ready for the next project. So before I go and show you guys this and then the truck upstairs, or not upstairs, I'm in the basement, truck's in the garage. I did find, and I drove like an hour and a half into no man's land to buy an old school square body homemade pipe bumper for the rear bumper. I've never liked that rear bumper that was on there. It's kind of the traditional, you know, chrome step bumper. I painted it black. It's not holding up bad, but I just don't like the design of it, and with the custom front bumper, I wanted a custom rear bumper. So I drove, like I said, all the way from where I live, which is essentially Brazelton, Georgia, Houston, Georgia, all the way up to Jasper, Georgia, about an hour and a half away. And I bought this pipe bumper for $100. It was well worth it in my opinion. And I've got it kind of on the truck, mocked up. I've got to do a little bit of cutting, a little bit of welding, nothing too extreme, and then I'm going to clean it up, take it up to Line-X. But that thing is really cool, and I really love it. I can't wait to show it to you guys. So let's take a look up here. Let me show you a few things, and then we'll go up and look at the truck, and I'll show you where I'm at with the truck, and also check out that awesome pipe bumper that I got. All right, so let's take a look at this stuff, and I know there's a lot going on this table, kind of a mess, but you can see there's the old ring gear and the pinion gear right here. You can see how much this thing fought me to get that off the pinion. But you count up the teeth on this, and divide them, and that's how I got the 308, confirm that it was a 308 gear there. So that's the old ring and pinion. The new one's on the truck. I'll show you that in a second. And just here's the axles from the truck. And the reason I have these out here is because I wanted to, if you can see the difference, when I put the wheel spacers on the rear axle, this one is the factory one, and it's 1.5 inches, and it just didn't get enough bite on the lug nut for me to have a comfort level with it. So I ordered these, and it'll say on the website that these don't fit, and let me show these to you. This is the 7/16/20 Dorman wheel stud, made in the USA, 610-259, and these are 1.75 inches. Now, there is a difference in the knurl, and if you guys have done this, you know what I'm talking about. That's the knurl part right there, and these are 0.475, and the factory ones, the ones that are 1.5 inches right there, are 0.472, and I've had 0 issues driving these in. So I don't know where it went, if it should be nearby, but I'm using that Lyle wheel stud installer and hitting it with my impact, and I've not had a problem at all. I couldn't finish both axles because this I ordered this, and you see it right there, quantity 10, and I needed 12, so just not thinking. So I had a little bit of a delay with that, and had to actually, not too bad, just about 1.5 days, because O'Reilly's carries these 610-259s, and I was able to get some delivered to the store right down the street from my house in about 1.5 days. But you know, should have ordered. And I'm kind of glad I did it that way, because I saved some money, because they come in boxes of 10, and at O'Reilly's you can buy them individually. If you order them like from Summit, which I did with these, you got to order a box of 10. So I know it doesn't look like much, but that extra 1/4 inch on these wheel studs going into the wheel spacer is going to give me a lot more peace of mind that that's got a better bite on the threads with the lug nut for that wheel spacer. Just going to give me peace of mind about, you know, that it's not going to, I just don't want my rear axle and my rear tire to fall out while I'm driving down the road. So a little bit of a pain to do these, actually not too bad, but to me, well worth it. All right, so I mentioned my vent windows, and you can see the vent windows back there. This is an old one here, and this is a new one, and you can see I ordered new frames, and that's actually new glass, and I've got one pressed in and done, and then I still have the other one to do. Glass is somewhere, there it is, there's the glass. And again, I know this is a wreck up here, but the reason, and I wasn't going to buy these things because they're not cheap, but the reason I did was because when I unbolted the frame from these vent window frames, the inner frame, I guess, that holds the glass, it's supposed to come out and have this piece on it right here, and yeah, it's supposed to work really good, and everything's supposed to be easy. Well, you can see right here where mine broke off when I was unbolting it, and it's still kind of stuck on here. Still kind of stuck on here right there. And so what I'm going to have to do to get this off is just run a wire wheel through it and cut it, which I don't have a problem doing, because the new pieces, the new frames I bought came with new springs and a whole new stud there, so I can kind of sacrifice this one to get it off. So still got to clean these up. Kind of buried under here are the new weather stripping for the vent windows, which I know were a pain to get in. I can tell you this was a pain to do. There's a rubber piece that looks like this that goes in that groove, and then the glass goes in on top of that. And I can tell you, what did I use? So what I did is I got this spray away foaming glass cleaner, sprayed it on this rubber piece after I kind of walked it down, and I kind of did like that, and I put it in the groove all the way around, and then I sprayed it, and I was able to work the glass in there. A little bit of persuasion from a dead blow hammer, but be really, really careful with that. Obviously, you don't want to break your new glass, but those have proven to be a pain. Everybody knows the vent windows are a pain, and I haven't even gotten into the truly painful part of putting in the new seals. So that's another thing that held me back and delayed me. I had to wait on those parts. Kind of hard to find part right here, the frame to that. LMC, I don't believe LMC carries that, or they're out of stock. And they're out of stock, and I would have bought them. They're $200 a piece, but I promise you I would have bought them the complete kit. So it comes with everything, like the whole thing is all new, everything's new, for about $200, but they're back ordered on LMC with no end in sight. So I'm having to kind of piece these things together. And somewhere on this bench, I know this is messy, and so I've got these rebuild kits for the vent windows. And I've also got the, there's some rivets, and somewhere, oh, there they are. I've got the, this part here, the handle part. I've got all that, got all those parts as well. So I should be able to get that back together pretty quickly, and hopefully no more delays there. All right, so that's enough of this stuff down here. Let's go upstairs and look at the truck. All right, so up here in the garage, here's the truck, obviously. And you can see this mess. And I mean mess. And I can assure you, I am not winning Neighbor of the Year awards doing this, changing out this rear gears in the evening and beating on this thing. Obviously, the brakes actually work really good in this truck, but there is not a lot of material left on those shoes. And so that's, I'm not doing it now. I'm gonna get it back together so I can drive it, but I'll replace and rebuild those drum brakes shortly. You can see the new seal and the new bearing, and I put a new seal and bearing in there just because I'm using those. Well, I mean, at this point, when you got the axle shafts out, you might as well, right? And I with the wheel spacers, puts a little extra stress on those bearings, so I thought it would be wise to change them. And I can tell you, they were a pain to get out, so I don't think they've ever been changed, so it certainly can't hurt. I got all the wheel studs pressed in, axle shafts ready to go back in, and there's the crow, birds. Every time I film, they're out here. But really, I don't know if you can see that very well, but really good setup on the rear gears. I feel really confident about that. Thank you to my buddy Matt, who you know, I disassembled everything. I took everything apart and did kind of that part of it, and when he came over, I was ready to rock and roll, and all we had to do was put in the races and set it up, and he really helped me with that. He's very good at that, and I feel really good about the setup. So thanks, Matt, for your help, buddy. Always appreciate you. And if you haven't seen any of Matt's videos, he's got a $1,000 square body truck that he bought, not too far off from the condition of mine, and he's done quite a bit with it. Currently in the process of building a big block motor for it. So check out those videos. They're on my YouTube channel. If you go to the YouTube, if you go to my channel, JD Offline, and you go to press videos, and then all the videos will show there. They're kind of buried in there, but there's 5 or 6 videos on his truck. And so in my opinion, one of the coolest things about this truck is the bumpers. Front bumper's totally custom, and you guys, I've done videos on that as well. But this is the pipe bumper that I picked up, and I don't know what these were. They almost look like welding tanks. Obviously a homemade bumper, which doesn't bother me a bit, but very well done. Nice cutout for the license plate, nice cutout for your lights, and you can get the little press-in lights that go in there for your license plate. A receiver, not meant to tow a lot of weight, but you know, small stuff around the yard, no problem. But what a beast of a pipe bumper. You can see I've done a little bit of work cleaning it up, and this thing is cool. So had to kind of notch it out right here, and I'm gonna grind these down, smooth them up. The mounting tabs, these big 1/4-inch plate, whatever they are not welded all the way down, so I'm probably gonna hit that with a little bit of weld just to beef this thing up. I'm not gonna really do a lot of prep work to it, and then I'm gonna take it up to Line-X and have them do their magic, and it'll match the front bumper, and it's just gonna look really cool. I'm really excited about this pipe bumper. So here's kind of just a different look at it, different angle. Definitely a mess down there. There is the old bumper over here, tire. You know, you just get stuff everywhere when you do this. And looky there, I got a full charge of my battery now, so I've been charging that, and there she is. All right, so really appreciate you guys kind of hanging in there with me. I know it's been a while since I made a video, and I do feel bad about that, but man, between your, you know, life happens, right? You got your, I have a family, I have a wife and kids and a day job, and it just, part delays, parts are back ordered, parts are unavailable. So, you know, parts break when you start working on these old trucks, and it's not intentional, just, you know, genuine delays, but I'm making progress, and I should have this thing on the road shortly, and I can't wait to do kind of I'm gonna do a video that's gonna be like a before, like video 1, when I say, hey, I bought an 84 square body, and then to what it is today, and I'm gonna do a shot of the, you know, this door panel, and then a shot of the door panel as it looks now. the wheels, tires, so much work's been done. It's going to be a really fun video to make, and then I'm going to make a video of hopefully very soon of me driving this thing around, and I hope it runs good. I hope the rear end is good. It's got to break in a little bit, but I feel really confident with the setup, like I said, and I feel really confident with all the work that's been done on the truck. It should be a good running truck, and I can't wait to get it back together and have some fun with it. All right, so we got the truck out of the garage and drove it around the block a couple times, and we kind of felt, I want to show you guys the front end. It's kind of cool that that shadow's there, because that's going to be kind of the big reveal, is that front end. But Matt, go over there and if you don't mind, we get.
It felt like it was dragging.
It was dragging.
Do we have a boat anchor back there?
Look, that's lifted up. Yeah, so both front brakes are seized up, and yeah, so no, we're not going around the block yet. So yep, truck runs, drives, sounds good, runs good, but man, it just didn't feel right, and that's why. So next project, and this is what I was talking about with the delays in an old truck like this, but here we are. So coming soon, we're going to rebuild these front brakes, probably go ahead and do the wheel bearings, get all that stuff cleaned up, new parts. Hopefully that'll take care of it, and we can drive this thing around.